I've had to try this so many times. Hey guys, it's me Jzo, and this is what if Naruto was close to the stage of 6 pass, aka the next stage of 6 pass, and it was a Jostar. So since the Namikaze clan is gonna basically be extinct, I'm gonna say that's how Naruto was a Jostar. And yeah. I'm just gonna do a quick time skip to whenever he's 4 because the fight with the Nine Tails went the same except for the fact that it was just slightly easier due to the fact that Minato had, well, a stand. Yeah. So it's time skip to whenever he's 4 because I'm pretty sure it was when he's 4 that he saved Hinata. And so yeah. In this, he was able to scare him off because I'm not gonna have him have his whole stand yet, but he threw a punch at one of the guys, and then he just barely saw something above him, punched the other guy as well, and the kid went flying, and so they all ran away. And then for the rest of that day, up until one of the branch members of the Hyuga clan came for Hinata, Naruto and Hinata were hanging out for the rest of the day. And so they built up a better relationship faster, and Hinata still developed a crush. And yes, this is still going to be a Hinata ship because I want it to be. And so now we do another time skip to whenever Naruto's 5. And there are citizens, low Jonin, and some Chunin throwing rocks at Naruto. The Jonin and the Chunin decide to put, in the last couple rocks that they throw, they decide to put chakra into the rocks. And so there's one with wind, fire, lightning, and stuff. And just before it hits Naruto, they just deflect off of him, it looks like. And also, there's not going to be any editing in the back of this because I normally I probably would have, but I'm really lazy right now because it's 5:30 in the morning and I don't want to. And so yeah, and then he just sees this thing in front of them, and then he can tell that they can't see it because if they could, they wouldn't be throwing it directly at it. So this is when Naruto develops his stand. And what his stand is going to look like is it's going to look like Jotaro's and Josuke's. It's going to have the reddish color from Josuke's, but the purple from Jotaro's, and it's also going to, but it's going to look like Dio's stand. So it has that. And so, yeah. He then runs home and faints. As soon as he gets to the door and gets to his bed, he faints. And wakes back up in the middle of the next day. And whenever he fainted, it was 10 p.m. and he woke up at 1 something in the afternoon the next day. Why? Is because of this long conversation. And so, whenever he fainted, he's transported to his mindscape. He sees the sage of the 6 paths. The sage tells him about who he is, who Kurama is, about what happened. And then after that, he tells Naruto that he's going to become the next stage of the 6 paths if he's able to stay good-willed and whatnot. And then he gives Naruto the Sharingan as a sign of good faith. And because I want to give him the Sharingan. And so, yeah, that happens. And I'm sorry if I keep saying and so, yeah, because, yeah, this is how I continue some sentences. And so, that happens, and then, he tells Naruto that Kurama's gonna be nice to him, and is gonna actually help him. Naruto asks, who is Kurama? As then an eye opens in a cage, and then he sees a nine-tailed fox. And then that's when the sage removes the seal, which then teleports Minato there. Minato, before trying to close it, goes to Naruto asks why the seal is off whenever he's 5, and then he just takes a 6 pass. They have a little conversation, and then he opens the gate, and Kurama walks out, and then Kushina appears. And then after Kushina appears, the same thing happens with her. And then that's whenever Naruto looks at Kushina and Minato, and he has a Sharingan. Minato then looks at Kushina. Kushina waves her hands. If y'all don't know why, well then y'all don't know why. And so then he looks at the sage and asks if he gave him the Sharingan. The sage then says yes. And that's when Minato, Naruto, and Kushina still had their little heartfelt conversation about them being his parents, and that Minato wants Naruto to change his last name from Uzumaki to Namikaze. Naruto then says, "Why?" And then Minato says, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm your dad, and this is your mom." He's then dumbfounded, like, "What?" But then Minato says, "You can only tell Jesus, Josh, come on. You can only tell people that are really, 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 really close to you and Hiruzen that I am your son." Hiruzen already knows this, but that's according to what I told him, not told you. And Naruto accepts this. Turns back to the sage. This is whenever the sage gives him light release, magnet release, and what's it called? Sprint release, speed release. It's called, what is it called? It's called something release. Release. I'll figure it out later. And gives him one other release that I do not remember the name of. And yeah. So that happens. Let's just give him dark release. So he's gonna get light release, magnet release, and dark release. And so dark release, he then okay, so after he gets dark release, he has this image of this move which he calls full counter, and I just want to give him full counter. So basically what the dark release is going to do is it's going to absorb the jutsu, and then Naruto's going to spin around and release it back out at 3 times the power. And yeah, he's going to say dark style, full counter. And yeah. And then with light release, I still need to figure out what that is, but I just want to give him, like, I guess light and dark would be like yin and yang. So he gets yin and yang release and magnet release. Let's just say that. And yeah. So yeah, that happens. And then that's whenever he leases Mindscape, and whenever he wakes up at 1 o'clock because of all that happening. Oh, I forgot this last time. So Minato tells Naruto that there's a specific house that Minato wanted Naruto to live. Hiruzen hopefully gave him that house. Because under the bed, under the floorboard, under the middle floorboard, under the bed, there, if he opens that, there is a scroll with the Flying Raijin, the Rasengan, some high-rank jutsu, and some usage of how to learn chakra control for Naruto. And so at the age of 5, Naruto then starts training with Kurama. So now I'm back to what I was saying before. Naruto then visits Hiruzen and tells him that he knows who his father is, he knows who his mother is, he knows that he has Kurama. He also tells him that he has magnet release and yin and yang release. Hiruzen, hearing all this at one time, is dumbfounded. He's astonished. He's surprised. He is like jumping off the walls out of his chair, wondering when this all happened. Naruto then remembers what the sage says, and yes, I'm saying this just so y'all know. The sage told him not to tell him about the Sharingan. Actually, he could tell him about the Sharingan, and he couldn't tell him about him working with Kurama yet. him being the next stage of 6 or just meeting him in general. Naruto, knowing this, also says there's also one thing more I want to show you, but I want your Anbu to leave. He isn't a surprise, but then waves them off. And then that's when Naruto says, I guess it's better to show you. And then says Sharingan, and then equips his 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Yes, I'm giving him a 3 Tomoe Sharingan at the age of 5. If you're wondering why he has all that strength, it's because I want to give it to him. And if y'all got a problem with it, well, so I'm already giving it to him, so by the time you see this, it's gonna be there anyway. And, yeah. So, also, I hope y'all know, like, the thing with the Sharingan, where if you're pure blooded, you immediately get a tournament and get your Sharingan. If that's not a thing, well, I saw that in another what if, and I'm gonna make that a thing, because that's what I want Naruto to have. I don't remember what the what if. What was the what if? I don't remember what it was. And so, yeah, that happens. And when, what's it called? Whenever Hiruzen hears all of this, he says Sharingan, he's just like, man, this kid, I need to put a lot of work into him, because he could become something special. And so Hiruzen then gets Kakashi to train him, and he also gets Guy to train him. He gets Kakashi, he gets Guy, does he get anybody else? Nah, just Kakashi and Guy to train him. And after he trains with them every other day. So one day he trains with Kakashi, one day he trains with Guy. Guy's training is harder because it just puts more strain on Naruto's body, and he still has the weights. It's more weights than what's it called? Lee has though. So then that's when whenever he trains with Kakashi, it's mainly just chakra training, chakra control, and stuff like that. So it's not as draining on him. So whenever he gets home, that's whenever he trains in the Flying Rising and other stuff like that. And so yes, he gets home, and I'm gonna say that it's gonna be 3-part training. But the first part he could skip, because that's just for if Naruto was a kid whenever he found this, and it was teaching him how to throw kunai. And since he already knew how to do that, it was fine. And so by the time he's 7 years old, he's at Lee's speed and with his weights on in the Chunin exams. He is a master at chakra control. He can walk up trees, he can walk on water, he can use ninjutsu, genjutsu, he has amazing taijutsu, and he's also pretty good at genjutsu, because I'm going to give him a sword in this as well. Why I'm giving him a sword? I just feel like it would be cool. You could also use it as a mind trick, and you're going to see how he's going to do that. So Naruto's also training with the powers of his stand, and one time whenever he was fighting Kakashi and he had his stand, and they don't know about his stand, but not yet actually. So now Naruto is 7 years old, 7.5. In about 5 months he's gonna be going into the academy. So then Naruto and Kakashi are sparring, and then Kakashi has his Sharingan, and only people with like high dojutsu, so like mastered. Okay, I'm gonna say Kakashi can see it because he's had 3 Tomoe Sharingan for years. That's the only reason why Kakashi can see it. And so what happens is Kakashi looks at Naruto and sees the stand. He's like, Naruto, what is that? Naruto tells him that he's had it since he was 5, whenever Jonin and Chunin were throwing rocks at him. And then we get the whole flashback that the anime gives, like, and then we're back. And then he sees Kakashi charging up a Chidori. Naruto not expecting this, wasn't able to block in time, but Kakashi was going too fast to the point where he couldn't stop. It was like, oh no, about to hit Naruto. But then Naruto, I don't know, I don't know why, but I just wanna. Okay, so he has both Jotaro's and Dio's time stop ability. But I want him to have both, to where he can just do it, because I'm pretty he is the world. And so he's like, no, what name am I gonna give his stand? Guys, let's think of this. I don't want to give him Star Platinum. Let's give him I don't want to pause this here. Sorry guys. Let's give him Thunder. Let's say his thing is Meteor Platinum. Yeah, Meteor Platinum. And so he says Meteor Platinum. You can come up with the name of the comments below, though, if y'all don't like Meteor Platinum. And so he does that. And so, how about Soul Fang? Yeah, let's say Soul Fang instead. So his thing is gonna be called Soul Fang. And so he says Soul Fang. And then just as he can feel the lightning touching his skin and about to go through him, suddenly time stops. Like, suddenly Kakashi isn't moving anymore, but he's able to move. And so he goes behind Kakashi. And if y'all played Roblox, and this is an ABA where you're able to stop time and attack during that time, so he stops time, cuts, not a deep cut, but cuts Kakashi's leg with his sword. I'll tell you how he got the sword later. He cuts Kakashi's leg, and then he uses his stand rush on Kakashi. And then just before, like, he can feel time resuming by this weird feeling he's getting. And in this, he has, right now at this moment, he has, I'm gonna say 6 seconds. And so he uses 6 seconds to attack Kakashi, and then he can feel time stopping. He's like, okay, so I have 6 seconds. And yes, so those 6 seconds would relate to about a minute in our time, but since anime time is so freaking weird, I'm gonna say it's 6 seconds, even though it's like 10,000 years. So yeah, that happens. And whenever this happens, this is when Kakashi then instantly gets a cut on his leg and just flies forward, as well as slightly to the side since he got punched in the face. And he's wondering what happened. And Naruto's like, I don't know, but like, it's hard to explain, but I want to keep this a secret. Like, and then Kakashi still wondering what's happening. Oh, by the way, Kakashi doesn't know about the Sharingan yet. He also does not know about, actually he knows about the Sharingan, but he doesn't know about the Yin Yang and Magna release. But yeah, after this, Naruto goes home, and now in a couple days he's gonna turn 8. And then on the day that he turned 8, he mastered the Flying Raijin. It took him a couple years, but he finally mastered it, and now he can work on the Rasengan. And so he's working on the Rasengan, and he's able to get it down in like say, okay, how long did it take him? It took him a couple weeks in the original. So let's say it took him 7 months, 6.5 months. It took him 6.5 months to master the Rasengan. And now he's trying to put lightning and lava, because he actually got lava release at this point. He has lava release now, and so he's trying to put lightning and lava. Whenever he put lightning in there, he accidentally hit himself with it, because he like disappeared and he like put it in front of his face and like moved it over to his hand. Because like, you know, whenever you're looking at your hand and then you like accidentally like put it over, yes, so the Rasengan ended up hitting his hand. He's like, oh, so it turns invisible. And then so he actually perfects the Rasengan. And then that is whenever he tries to put lava release. And then it just explodes. It just straight explodes in his face. Just has burn marks. And so, yeah. At this point, Naruto is able to change his name to Namikaze, but he keeps on saying he keeps on saying Uzumaki. And then that's whenever he tells Iruka that he has changed his name. Like a couple of years into let's just pause and take a minute to notice how badly I just stuttered. He then tells Iruka that he has changed his name, and on the final exam he wants everybody to know his name change. Iruka is wondering why he changed his name from Naruto to Uzumaki. And Naruto's like, oh no, I just changed my last name. Iruka, surprised at this, says, okay, what's your new name? My new name is what my actual name should be, but yeah. Iruka then questions this and says, okay, just tell me what your new name is. And so Naruto then says, my name is now Naruto Namikaze. That's when Iruka is in full shock. Like, Namikaze, isn't that the fourth? Yes. He was my father. Could you see the resemblance? Who else do you know that had yellow hair as a trait? Who else had their parents die on the day of the Naito's attack? Or, let's say this. Who else do you know that had yellow hair? Who else do you know had yellow hair and died on the Naito's attack? Iruka then thinks of this and is like, wow, it really is. And so that's when the next couple months go by, and then the final exam. Everybody's called up for it, and then he says, Naruto, Namikaze. Everybody is shocked. Like, what? I thought his last name was Uzumaki. And so, yeah, that happens. And then he goes up, and he just completely... Notice that black meteorite is amazing. KO. Anyway, so... he just absolutely aces, just destroys the test. And gets Rookie of the Year. And then, yeah, that happens. And then the next day, was it a week later? Was the next day? Teams are assigned, and it's Sasuke, Hinata, and Naruto. Oh! Right now, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired. I'm still recording this. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So Naruto and Hinata are closer because during the training that he had, he also trained her. So she has gotten amazing at the what's it called? Man, what's the Hyuga's the gentle fist. She's got amazing at the gentle fist. She knows the 8 trigram 64 palms and is learning the 128 palms and the palm rotation. But she still acts shy around Naruto and hides her strength. So whenever it's like Team 7, Sasuke Uchiha, Hinata Hyuga, and Naruto Namikaze, they're happy that they get to be on a team with each other. And Hiyashi still is the same as in canon, and wants Hinata to be a tuning during this test. She doesn't show how strong she is. She accidentally almost showed it whenever she said 8 trigrams and went into the 64 palm state, but then like she had to like completely fail it, and that's when Hiyashi also got this. That's why she now has to pass the tuning exams, because she went into 8 trigrams, which was a really strong jutsu, but then she didn't actually do the jutsu. She like failed doing it, and this disappointed Hiyashi, so that's why she had to pass the tuning exams, or else she's gonna get the thing sealed on her. And yeah, so that happens, and this is now even though the tuning exams aren't gonna happen for a little while. This is when they Iruka says the Jonin team leader is Kakashi Hatake. Yeah, he's like, oh no. And the reason he says this is because he knows that Kakashi is going to be late. And right he was. Kakashi was late. Tells them to be brought to the top. Oh yeah, by the way, Kakashi doesn't know that Naruto knows who his parents are. If I said that he does, too bad, past self, because you're wrong. Future self has told you that you were wrong. And so, and that's when Sasuke, Hinata, and Naruto go to the top and are now talking to Kakashi. Kakashi asks them what their goals are and what their dreams are, and their names. Sasuke says, "I'm Sasuke Uchiha, and I don't have any dreams, but I have a goal, which will then turn to a reality. I am going to kill a certain someone for something that they did." And then Hinata said, I want to. And what did Hinata say? I'm gonna see Hinata said, I want to impress my father. Okay, so my goal is to be with a certain somebody. Another goal of mine is to impress my father and actually become a good heir to the Hyuga clan. And my dream is to just be a nice person, and maybe and yeah. What would Hinata's dream be? I guess Hinata's dream would be somebody. So yeah, that's gonna be her dream, and then her goal was to be a good heir to the Hyuga. And so yeah, that happens. And Naruto says, dream. My dream. Oh yeah, this is what I said in the last one. My dream is to become what I have been told I am fated to become. I also want to be like my father and be an amazing Hokage. Kakashi is surprised at this, like he knows who his father is. Why did Hiruzen tell him this? And yeah, that's when Naruto says, "These are my goals, and that is my dream." And so yeah, They start doing D rank missions. No, actually, no. I can please get the bell test. Actually, I'm gonna pause this right here and like take a rest because I'm just not with it right now. Hey guys. If I sound more energetic, it's because I am. This is the very next day after this thing that was recorded, after what you just heard that was recorded at 5 o'clock, and right now it is 2 o'clock in the morning. Do not ask me why I'm recording so late. I don't know. I just am. I think the reason I'm hyper is because I ate some chicken wings and some apple pie. That's probably why. I'm just smarter. Anyway, what's good? And yeah, I'm continuing the what if right now. It's okay, so now that I'm more hyper, I'm gonna be talking about more stuff and being in more detail. Also, what's gonna happen is now whenever I'm gonna start making my what if series, the first episode is gonna be the longest so that I can ask y'all questions for what y'all want in the what if. And then after that, that's when I'm gonna post it. And then after I post it, y'all answer the questions. And if you're not, you don't. Well, yeah. That's why this one's gonna be over an hour long. And yeah. So let's continue on this one if. Right now we're at the bell test. So Kakashi tells them that the next day they have to. I'm so done right now because it just completely canceled out everything that I had just said that happened with the bell test, and so I'm having to do this again. So if I didn't already say this, then Hinata has the 128 palms. She has fire and lightning, and she has rotation, and she's able to put lightning in her strikes. And Naruto and Hinata have this combo move that they're gonna do. And yes, I'm gonna shorten the bell test because I'm so annoyed to have to do this again. And so what happens is as soon as the bell test starts, Sasuke jumps into the bushes, and Hinata and Naruto don't. Hinata then runs at Kakashi. Kakashi automatically has his Sharingan equipped because he's not trying to get hit, as you know. So since he has a Sharingan equipped, then this is able to happen. And so what happens is, if you have seen Boruto, then you know how he uses his shadow clones to like launch himself forward. And so yeah, that's what what's it called? That's what Naruto does to Hinata. Launches her forward, and then he says lightning style, lightning stream. And then she says water style, water bullets. So the bullets hit Kakashi, which then drench him in water. And then the lightning hits Kakashi, which paralyzes him for a second, which allows Hinata to go into 128 palms. But since Kakashi has a Sharingan, he's able to either block, parry, or just dodge the palms. And so only 24 of the 128 hit him. If you're wondering why it's so little, it's because she's not a Genin. She technically is a Genin, but she's not a Genin yet, and he's like a high Genin. And so that happens. And since all that happens, after that happens, Naruto uses his time stop ability. And after he uses his time stop ability, he decides to use the headhunter jutsu to get behind Kakashi. And after he gets behind Kakashi, he takes the bells, uses the headhunter jutsu, and gets back within, I think I gave him 5 seconds. I think I gave him 5 seconds in his time stop time. And then as soon as time starts again, Hinata goes in for a rotation, but Kakashi uses the substitution jutsu and turns into a log. But since he uses the substitution after Naruto had grabbed the bells, Naruto still has the bells and he does not. Kakashi doesn't notice this. And so that's when he goes over to he goes over to try and knock out Hinata, but then Naruto says, wait, we win. Kakashi's like, no you don't have the and then he looks down and sees that Naruto has the bells and the bells are no longer in his possession. He is then thinking about if he should pass him, but then says, yeah, they pass. not only did they get the bells, but they used teamwork. The thing is, next time, y'all, you need to include Sasuke into y'all's teamwork, because yeah, not a team of only two y'all are working together. And so Hinata and Naruto, did I already say that they have a close relationship? If I did, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say it again. Did I? I think I did that. I think I did say they had a close relationship before. I think I did. Did I? I think so. Did I? Did I? Did I? I think I did. Anyway. So, yeah, they passed the bell test, and then that is whenever they start doing their D ranks. And after they start doing their D ranks, all three of them eventually get bored of doing the D ranks, because since did I say Naruto was an Uchiha? No, I said yes. I said he has the Sharingan. Okay, I remember. Oh, controller, you better not controller. Okay, so Naruto has all this stuff and is just ready. Here's a Sharingan. Since Sasuke has the one Tomoe Sharingan in each eye. Hinata has the Byakugan, and Naruto has the Master Sharingan, who technically has the 3 Tomoe Sharingan in both eyes. So catching cats and stuff is quite easy, considering the fact that they don't even really need to try, because they already are able to see the cat and just absolutely destroy the cat. And so then they go to Hokage, and the Hokage ask Kakashi if they're ready. Kakashi says they are good enough for a high C or a mid to low B rank mission. Hiruzen is surprised that Kakashi is complimenting a team this much, and then tells what's his name, Tazuna, to walk in. Tazuna then walks in and can't really say anything about the girl looking. Can't really say anything about Sasuke and Naruto, since Naruto's eating better in this. And they're tall, but then he goes to say something about Hinata. And then he says, "How is a blind girl supposed to protect me?" Naruto is then enraged. And he just lets off a slight amount of his bloodlust. Just a tiny amount. Not a lot, just barely any. Which then Tazuna understands that what he just did was almost get himself killed. And yeah. Then they meet out and set off to the Land of Waves. I think I have enough time to cover some of the Land of Waves. So, what then happens is they start walking, and all of them except for Tazuna see the puddle. And so since they all see the puddle, they're all on guard, but they don't visibly show it, if you know what I mean. And so all of this is happening, and Naruto, without showing Sasuke, equips his, no, he doesn't. He has his Yang release ready to see if they use Jutsu. But at the same time, did I say I gave him Magnet, I gave him Yin and Yang, or Dark release, and I gave him Lava. And so he has a Jutsu, and in some games you're able to hold Jutsus and just like wait until you use them. So I'm gonna say he has a Lava style Lava bullets ready. and is holding that, waiting for them to attack. But he also has his dark release ready if they use Jutsu. They come out. Then after that, they come out and go and attack Kakashi. Kakashi fakes that he's dead, and then they go after Hinata and Naruto. Naruto uses his lava bullet, and he doesn't need to use his dark release. And then the poison one goes after Hinata, but she uses rotation, so the poison blade ends up hitting the other demon brother, which then leads to Naruto putting both of them in a genjutsu. Kakashi sees how easily they beat them and is surprised how good his Genin team are. And yeah. So after that, they continue walking, and then that's whenever they run into this thick mist. And Naruto, having better sensory abilities, notices the rabbit again, like in canon. And then Sasuke doesn't realize this, but Sasuke and Kakashi don't realize this, but Hinata and Naruto do realize that white rabbits aren't, they aren't supposed to be here in this season. And so knowing this, they're both on guard. And that's when Naruto then yelled out, "Duck." Sasuke brought Tazuna down. And so, yeah. Sasuke brought Tazuna down. Hinata ducked, Kakashi ducked, Naruto ducked. And Zabuza was surprised that a mere Genin was able to sense all that happening. And is a bit intrigued by him. Then what happens is Kakashi tells them to stay back because it's one of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist. And so they all calm down, which then they don't calm down, but they don't attack. And then, like in canon, Kakashi slips and gets put in the, water prison. And then that's whenever Naruto uses his time stop, uses his stand rush on Zabuza. And after he uses his stand rush on Zabuza, he does lava style, lava floor, and then kind of runs up to the water prison to push Kakashi out of the lava floor before he lands into it. And so he does all that, and then time starts moving again. Zabuza gets hit by a ton of attacks and then falls down onto a lava floor, and then Kakashi is pushed away from the lava floor, and they're all wondering what just happened. And they're all confused, Naruto, what did you just do? And Naruto says, it's a little secret. And then, yeah, Zabuza then jumps back, but then gets hit by the 3 Senbon. And then the same things in canon. Haku says, "Oh yeah, Manabu from the best, and never come to take Kakashi." Blah 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 blah. And yeah, so that happens. And then, since Naruto already knows water and tree walking, he continues training, but in the flying Raijin. And let's say he masters it. He masters the flying Raijin, he's mastered the Rasengan, and, stuff like that. And, hey guys, it's me, Jazo, and this is the 3rd day I'm working on this over hour-long video. It should be almost done though. So, this part, I already No, I already made it, James. So it's not his. Okay, so, like I was saying, Naruto has mastered the Flying Raijin. He has mastered the Rasengan. He has, you know, I don't think I told you his chakra ninjas. He has all 5. Do I give it? Yeah, he has wood style as well. And so right now he's just mastering his wood style. And he already knows chi walking, water walking, and stuff like that. And then now we're gonna time skip over to the bridge with Tazuna. Oh yeah, and he also already told off Inari. And so now he still sleeps in and he hears Inari and his mom screaming. So he dashes out there, and I'm gonna say that they were closer to dying in this one. So like the kunais were about to hit Inari's mother in her head, like in her brain, and he was about to hit Inari in his heart. And so he uses his time stop ability, moves the kunai and hits both of the people in the neck, and then takes Inari and his mom to the village or back to the house. And then time continues, and they're all wondering how did they get there, and then they see Naruto. And then they ask Naruto if he's the one who did that. Naruto says yes. And now we move on to the bridge incident. I did not say that word correctly. Incident. So what happens is Naruto gets to the bridge and sees Sasuke getting absolutely obliterated. Just completely and utterly destroyed. And Sakura being useless as always. So now Naruto gets there. He flying Raijins, like he throws 2 of them. One goes past Sasuke, and the other one lands right next to Sasuke. No, actually, no, just for dramatic effect. He throws one into the air, and then he throws one to Sasuke and tells Sasuke to catch. Sasuke, wondering why he would need it, catches the kunai. Naruto teleports to him, and then teleports into the air, and proceeds to say, "Fire style, majestic destroyer flame," and just fires it down at Haku's ice mirrors, which just completely destroys them. Like half of them. Not all of them, but half of them. Sasuke wondering why Naruto's, what's it called? Fire chakra is stronger than his, even though he used the fireball jutsu and it didn't do anything. So now we shift over to Kakashi and Zabuza fighting. That same interaction where Zabuza acts as if he is so smart happens. And then they hear the sound of 1,000 birds, aka the Chidori. Should Kakashi and Naruto have a close relationship in this? No, I'll make what if Kakashi was Naruto's father? I mean, no, not never mind. So Haku dashes over, and yes, Naruto and Haku are still friends in this. And he time stops just as it's about to rupture Haku, and then he moves Haku and Zabuza out of the way so that Kakashi doesn't kill Haku or Zabuza. And then Gato appears. Just as Zabuza is going to attack Kakashi, Gato appears, says his little thing about not wanting to repay them and how they just wanted them to die. And in this instant, Naruto is so mad that his time stop goes from 5, it doubles. It goes from 5 to 10 seconds. So by the time, as soon as Zabuza takes a step and it hits the ground, Naruto stops time and just slaughters all of them. And then grabs Gato. He slaughters all of them. Actually, no. Let's say that he cuts one limb off of every single one of Gato's men. Either one of their legs or one of their arms off. And then picks up Gato and throws him and just like brings him over to Zabuza. Turns Zabuza and Haku to face Gato. And then has Kakashi on the other side where Gato could run, and then Naruto standing at on the other side of Kakashi. So the four of them are just looking at Gato. And then Naruto resumes time. And then that's when you see all the you see arms and legs just flying into the air as you see Gato just in the middle of the four of them. Zabuza wondering what just happened, as before he can say anything, Naruto says, "So, Zabuza, Haku, here you go. Here's a little present from me to you." Zabuza then is happy as he sees that he is able to kill Gato. So before Gato could run or do anything, Haku uses her ice, or his eye. Should I make Haku a girl in this? Whatever. No, Haku's a guy. So Haku uses Gerald. Hello? Okay, is Haku gonna be a guy or a girl in this? I don't know, I'm just wondering because other people do it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, okay, so yeah. So Haku uses his ice and freezes Gato from his legs so he's not able to move. And then you just see a head go flying as Zabuza cuts Gato's head off. And then Naruto, all looking cheery and whatnot, asks Zabuza and Haku if they want to come to the Leaf Village. And then Naruto, acting all smart, just gives them perfect reasons for why they would go to the village. And so Zabuza and Haku are going to the village with Naruto. Did I say Hinata? Yeah, Hinata, Sasuke. Wait, I forgot. I didn't put Sakura on this team. Hinata's on this team. My bad. I completely forgot. Well, Hinata couldn't really do anything as he was supposed to protect Tazuna, and she wasn't dumb enough to run into the ice mirrors. Yeah. So that's the end of the Land of Waves arc. And yeah. And so now we see Naruto and Hinata, Sasuke, Zabuza, Haku, and Kakashi all making their way back to the village hidden in the leaves. And so on their way back, they don't meet with anyone, they just make their way back, and Sasuke is kind of just dumbfounded at how strong Naruto is, being able to instantly beat Haku, and then not only that, being able to save Haku, and he's just surprised and in awe at how strong Naruto was. So, also, this is probably going to be the longest video on my channel. I may have some I'm going to definitely have some streams that are longer than this, but this itself is my longest video. And so I just hope you all like that. And thank you for your support on What If Naruto Had the 10 Tails. It was half Yugen, half Uchiha. Anyway, back to what I was just talking about. So, they make their way back to the village, and Naruto tries to convince Hiruzen to have Haku and Zabuza reinstated into the village as like Zabuza a Jonin, considering he was in the bingo book and he was a Jonin, and Haku maybe as a Jonin or a Haichi Chunin because he's strong and because of his Kekkei Genkai. Hiruzen says Kekkei Genkai. What Kekkei Genkai? And then Naruto tells Haku to explain his Kekkei Genkai and stuff. And so all that's happening. And now we shift over to, them being instated, and then, yeah. After the Land of Waves arc, that's when the Chunin exam started, right? I think so. Yeah. So now we shift over to the Chunin exams. So, in the Chunin exams, it's Naruto, Hinata, and Sasuke just getting ready, because unlike in the original, Kakashi actually told them about it in time, and so they were ready for it. Hinata continued training with Naruto, as Naruto was able to, I don't know, why am I going to do this? Am I going to do this just because I want to? Yeah, I'm going to do this just because I want to. So, Naruto gets the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Why? I want him to have, perfect Susanoo, and, that's it. Only reason. Let's just say that Hinata almost accidentally killed Naruto, and that's why he got his Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. And okay, since he muted me, I'm gonna unmute him. Okay, so then now what's happening is the fight between Hinata and Naruto, where she caught him off guard because he ended up teaching her the Shadow Clone Jutsu, but she could only do about 3 Shadow Clones because she doesn't have the tracker reserves to do as much as Naruto can. So she does a Shadow Clone Jutsu, and then after that she throws a couple shuriken with chakra in them. Well, she throws one shuriken and then says shuriken Shadow Clone. And so Naruto has to, Naruto has to deflect them all. And then this is when Hinata gets behind him using the Headhunter Jutsu. And so after that, he gets hit by 64 of her 128 palms. And then after that, she says a water style, water vortex, and then says lightning style, lightning stream. And so he wasn't able to do any jutsu because he was paralyzed. And she tried to do the 128 palms again, but missed some of them. And then she went into a rotation, which then she threw an explosive kunai. And was just comboing Naruto. And then, as the explosive kunai would have killed him because he got so many of his chakra points hit and whatnot. And so since all of those got hit, what he ended up doing was, if y'all seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders, if y'all seen Dio when Polnareff stabbed him in the head and almost killed him, his time stop ability automatically went into effect, and so that's why he was able to survive that. I don't know why exactly that happened against Polnareff and not Jotaro, but anyway, that's probably because Jotaro had time stopped. Anyway, so what had happened was it just automatically went into effect, and he said, okay, so technically I won't die. And then after his time stop ability is activated, he gets the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, and as soon as time starts resuming, since it's not going to be for as long, considering he wasn't trying to and he didn't have as much chakra, he was able to use his Susanoo, and let's say his Susanoo is black and white and with a hint of yellow. And yeah,